I really need a new phone because something quite funny happened a couple days ago.
Yeah.
My phone was being super, super slow. It was like freezing up. So I just like powered it off just so that I could restart it and get just do a full refresh on it.
Yeah.
As it was booting up, it completely froze like on the boot screen. Like it just came up with the fucking Oppo logo.
Oh.
And then it just wouldn't leave that screen. So it stayed there for about like 20 minutes and I was a bit worried. So I looked up on the internet, Oppo, whatever the phone is, stuck on this screen. And I found a Reddit thread. I found a Reddit thread that was, someone experiencing the same issue. And they had commented what they did to fix it. It was a pretty simple solution.
Yeah.
And underneath that comment, I found my own reply from a year ago.
My God.
Saying, thanks for the solution. It worked.
Wait, so have you had the same problem before and you just didn't realize?
I did. I just completely forgot it happened.
That's creepy. Oh. Yeah, no thanks. What the fuck?
So yeah, anyway.
I'm
gonna get a nothing phone.
I am also planning on getting a nothing phone because my phone is doing the same thing where it just freezes up and it's so slow and so laggy I can't do anything. Like I tried.
The Bluetooth on my phone has started acting up, which is the most annoying thing.
You know what also happens with these headphones I've got, the HMX5s or whatever? Whenever I'm watching, it happens a lot when I'm watching like TikTok videos. I'll be scrolling and all of a sudden the video will like pause and my headphones will just turn off. Just like randomly. And like I can tell when it's coming because it happens so often because the screen stops and then the audio goes weird and then they just turn off. And sometimes it happens like 2 times, 3 times in a row and it's like completely random. I don't know why, but like, I don't know. It's so strange. So,
anyway, enough lamenting.
Yeah.
Take it to the intro. The purpose of this podcast is just a rant about the stuff that we like. So, if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, this show probably isn't for you. This podcast is recorded on Gadigal and Bidjigal land, and also contains a fair amount of explicit language. We are Australian after all.
If I let you in on this, you've got to promise to keep it on the down low. The less people know about this, the better.
Yeah, call it lazy, I just create what is in my mind. I use the same breaks in my beats sometimes. Wanna decorate my office, so I bought some fake lavenders and speakers, but Mankaiju on the highway to Los Angeles. Never try to hide you from my life if you can handle it. You know I try to find you in the dark, which is the candlestick. The fellas of my heart always encase of metal shackles. When I look into your eyes, you're like Wonderland of Alice.
Shit, if we can avoid incendiary incidents in real life, then we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to Stuff We're Excited About.
Ooh.
It's a podcast about stuff that we're excited about. And my name is Finley.
And my name is Cloud. And this week, we've got another Andor episode.
Another Andor watch.
So I saw episode 7, and I started watching episode 8, but then I had to go do something. And in this episode, I think we did another time skip. In this one, I think, or maybe was it 8? I don't remember, and I also don't.
Beginning of episode 7. It's every 3 episodes.
Okay, then it must have been So, Biggs and Cassian are on a new planet in their little on Yavin. On Yavin, in their little house. It looks really nice. And there's a Force healer. I really liked that because.
I like that concept a lot, yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, because with Andor, you expect it to be a series kind of very detached from everything. Of course, still intertwined, but having a Force-sensitive character was really nice to see, because it's not, it didn't feel very forced. It was just, of course it's going to be, one person on, a whole planet within a rebellion.
It felt natural.
Yeah, it felt very natural, and I liked that. I actually kind of forgot force
It's
healers
also,
were a thing.
Force healing is so much more compelling of a plot device when it is not a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the only force healing that we have seen previously has been just get out of jail free card.
Yeah, which
Just like suddenly this character can do this, and it's
this didn't
really
feel
annoying.
like that because it makes sense that like a big
Yeah.
rebel base would have at least one person to like heal people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I'm surprised they weren't like more because I feel like people that are force sensitive would still be like around regardless of
What a 66.
yeah. So
Yeah, I also really liked seeing the just like the non-force sensitive, the normal people, their reaction to it, and the way
Yeah.
that they
I mean the way that
kind of the way that they view the force. I mean, we got a little bit of that with Han at the beginning of A New Hope, but
I mean definitely
yeah, it's nice to see that.
seeing Cassian's reluctance and his kind of like because I feel like that would be you go up to someone
Confronting.
it would be very confronting because I feel like they kind of see these people as like this hoodoo voodoo magic thing that they believe it works but it doesn't actually do anything, but it does. And so when they see the results it's genuine shock because they're not expecting that. So when Cassian goes to check his
Yeah.
shoulder again and it's fine, like he was not expecting that at all because
Yeah.
it's such like yeah, I feel like at that point like force sensitivity isn't it's kind of more of those things where it's like, oh, I've heard about it, or a few hundred years ago or on some distant planet it happened. It's not like something you'd expect to see up close. So it was really cool
Yeah.
seeing how Bix was very like, yeah, like go do it, and Cassian was like, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck no. and one thing
It does, yeah, it offers insight into the characters' internal worlds.
yeah.
The way that they view that sort of thing.
And Bix having the conversation with the lady after and being like, you scared him and that's not easy to do, and her being, seeing some sort of the force healer having some sort of connection with Cassian and whatever that was. I'm really interested to see what that'll evolve into, because I don't know what she was like, she like felt very drawn to him, and so I'm quite curious to see that. And what was the other thing? Oh, another thing in that episode, or I think it was that episode, when Cassian goes back to Gore and
Gorman.
is it really?
The Gore are the people.
Oh.
Gorman is the planet.
I thought it was the opposite.
No.
Anyway, when he goes back to Gorman and he checks in at the hotel and it's the same guy as before, and he's like,
The bellhop,
you
yeah.
guys, and he says, you're gonna have to carry your bags this time. You know your way there. And I'm like, oh, he knows. I thought that was really
Yeah.
funny because it's been a year, but like he's still gonna recognize the guy because that time he's there.
Don't say that string of words. Don't say that string of words. It's like a sleeper agent activation phrase for me. Don't say it's been a year. Don't say those words.
Well, a large amount of time has elapsed.
It's been 365 days.
There you go, or whatever their equivalent of days is.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do have a unified galactic
They do, because it always says
Calendar?
BBY2,
BBY.
which I actually don't know
Well,
what it
that
stands
is-
for.
BBY stands for the Battle of Yavin. That's the battle where the first Death Star was destroyed. One interesting thing that Andor is retconning.
So what? That just
which-
resets like the calendar? That's
So obviously they wouldn't use that in universe. I mean, maybe after the Battle of Yavin, I don't know, but it's used outside of universe just to give a sense of the time scale that's been used for in extended universe for like 30 years or something.
okay.
But one thing that Andor is retconning is that now there is no BBY 0.
What?
There is no year 0 in that system. It's BBY 1 and ABY 1 is either side of the Battle of Yavin,
Oh.
which I found a little bit odd. Because I like in the final arc, it says it takes place in BBY 1,
Yeah.
but then the Battle of Yavin is just like less than a week after the events of that arc. So
Right.
you have to assume that that is the change that they're making, that there is no BBY 0.
Oh.
To be fair, they've never used this dating system in canon yet.
To be fair.
So it's not really retconning, it's just using the system in a slightly different way.
Because I know that's similar to how we have, like, how our time goes, like, before Christ, and then it kind of goes backwards in the numbers.
Before Common Era nowadays.
Oh, well, I always think of it as before Christ.
Yeah, there's been a lot of intellectual discussion about that, because why bother having the system, like, why bother renaming it when it's still based around a religious figure?
Yeah, like, that's...
Otherwise, it's just, like, arbitrary.
But, because I know that... Like, I know we have that, and then if you go before that, it's got the numbers, you know, reversed. Instead of going up, they go back as you go back, of course. So I always assumed it was similar to that, but I just never really knew when, like, the Star Wars...
The 0 point.
Yeah, when the 0 point was, or, like, the kind of the Star Wars events and where everything lines up on...
Smirking saying the word 0 point. 0 point's a thing in Fortnite.
Oh my god. Where everything lines up on, like, a like a time scale. And so I feel like I need it all, like, drawn out for me, because it's one of those things
I can
where
tell you roughly.
I just don't remember.
I can tell you roughly where everything sits.
And even having to remember that Andor takes place before the original trilogy.
The original trilogy.
Yeah, having to remember that all the time when I know that the original trilogy came out in, 77. So in my mind, it feels, old, but it's actually in the Star Wars universe not even happened yet. So for me, having to, like, fit everything in, and then with, like, Mando, and then, like, all these other series and the movies and all this stuff coming out, it's just so confusing. And
I can tell you roughly where everything is on the timeline.
I mean, I'm sure I could search it up and find, like, yeah.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Actually, let's start back at the Acolyte. Acolyte is about 130 BBY.
Okay.
Phantom Menace is about 30 BBY.
Okay.
Then Attack of the Clones is 21 BBY. Revenge of the Sith is 19 BBY.
Okay.
Solo is 10 BBY.
Okay.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place in the same year.
Okay.
Andor picks up in 5 BBY, and then each arc progresses a year. In season 2, so it goes to 4 BBY, 3, 2, 1,
and then it starts
then
again.
You have A New Hope. A New Hope is our 0 point, and then Empire Strikes Back is 3 years later, so 3 ABY.
Okay.
Then Return of the Jedi is 1 year after that, so 4 ABY. Then 4 years after that, or 5 years? 5 years after that is Mandalorian, so 9 ABY.
Okay.
And then in the next sort of, like, I think it's the next 3 or so years is where Book of Boba Fett, and Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka take place. All of the Mandoverse stuff happens.
Yeah.
I don't know when Skeleton Crew takes place.
I actually haven't seen
that. I
that.
don't know if they've ever confirmed it.
Oh.
It's good. I really enjoyed it. It's not highbrow Star Wars cinema.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I also haven't seen The acolyte yet, and I do really want to watch that because what's his name? He looks really good in that, because I saw the actor. Is it
Hong-Se Yong from the Squid Game?
No. He was in The Good Place, and so seeing, like, the...
Oh, yeah, Manny Jacinto.
Yes, Manny Jacinto. Seeing his range from playing, I forgot his name, in The Good Place to this character is like, whoa! I want to see that. So, yeah, so then we have Mando, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and then after that is, like, the newest movies with...
The sequels, yeah.
Yeah.
Sequels takes place, I think Force Awakens is in 35 ABY.
Okay.
And then they take place in the next 5 years. So I think it's like 35, 38, and 40, I think.
Right, okay.
that we don't need to talk about that.
Is that the
Because
furthest?
they're not good.
Is that the furthest we go? Is that as far as we are right now?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
So everything's just.
Though-
Wow.
There are a couple projects that are in the works that are further along the timeline than that. There is a basically like a Top Gun Star Wars movie
What? What?
about a starfighter starring Ryan Gosling in the works that is set after Rise of Skywalker.
What?
And then they are doing
I don't-
a
I don't know how I feel about that.
film about film about Rey building her new Jedi Order that is set, I think, like 10 years or something after Rise of Skywalker.
Wow. Okay.
So we'll have to see how those play out, because I mean, there was gonna be a Rogue Squadron film,
Oh right.
but a lot of the stuff that got announced has either been shelved or cancelled.
Yeah.
So, like, Star Wars doesn't stick to its promises as closely as Marvel when it comes to announced projects.
Right. Okay. And then, do we have anything before Acolyte?
Technically, I mean, well, not in terms of screen media, but in terms
we
of
have
like books. And
Yeah, we have
stuff,
like comics
do.
and stuff,
Yeah.
and there's I mean, I don't know if the game
Mhm.
counts, but that's like.
I don't think the Old Republic is still canon
Oh.
or Knights of the Old Republic.
Aw.
They could be, I guess,
What about
because
the?
there's not they don't contradict anything.
Yeah, so like
So
it would be fine to just kind of
they
chuck
could
it in
be.
there. What about
Yeah.
the game with Cal?
Oh yeah, those are canon. Yeah,
When does
those
that?
take place around the same time as Andor, I think.
Okay. I really want to play those. 'cause
Jedi
I
Fallen
haven't.
Order and Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
I've tried to play those games like 3 times. They're just not for me.
Oh.
I cannot get into them. It's also, I mean, like, you would have to get some pretty significant hardware if you wanted to play them.
Yeah, I've heard because it's like a lot of.
They're
Yeah.
pretty graphically intensive. Yeah.
I don't
Hang on,
have that.
I need to check. I want to fact check. When does Jedi Fallen Order take place? Same year as Andor. I was exactly.
Oh, there you go.
go. Jedi Survivor, I think, is pretty much right after. So, oh wait, no. Jedi Survivor picks up 5 years after the events of Fallen Order.
Oh.
So basically, right before A New Hope.
Oh, there you go.
Hey there, everyone. It's Editor Finley here. Turns out the thing that that came up when I looked it up during the recording of the show was completely wrong. That is just not correct. All of that is wrong. I mean, the thing about Jedi Survivor taking place 5 years after, that might be correct. But no, they meant 15 BBY, not 5 BBY. So, Fallen Order takes place about 15 years before the Battle of Yavin. 5 years after Revenge of the Sith is the specific wording that they use. They say 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. So that's just a correction I want to put in here because I don't like spreading misinformation, despite how often we accidentally do it. But yeah, that is 15 BBY, not 5 BBY. Staying a little bit on the topic of Star Wars.
Yes.
This one might be a little bit of a bummer.
Why?
The final update of the Star Wars Fortnite season
Oh.
came out last week.
And?
Or actually not last week. Well, last week if you're listening to this. It was a couple days ago for us. And no Cassian,
Oh.
no Kay,
You kidding?
no Bix,
Oh.
no Luthen.
That's
We got
just...
another Rey skin.
What? Why?
Just a different outfit. I don't know.
Not even
I don't know.
Cassian? Like, hello? That's just... We don't...
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. And they announced the time for the live event that is happening on my birthday.
And?
It's at 4 a.m.
Oh. Which...
I don't know why, because they could have really easily just, like, done it 4 hours earlier and it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, it wouldn't have made a difference to... In fact, it would have improved the time for all of Asia Pacific and Oceania. Like, it is going from being
Are we their
right in the fucking middle of the night.
Are we their
like,
biggest audience
in the
though?
wee hours. No, we're not.
So
But Asia is a pretty big audience.
I guess. But
if they just moved it 4 hours earlier,
yeah.
it would be in the morning for America. It would be in the afternoon for Europe, and then it would be in the evening for Asia and Oceania.
Yeah, that is
Instead
kinda
of
stupid.
being in the afternoon for America, being in the evening for Europe, and being in the middle of the fucking night for Asia
Because
and Oceania. It makes no sense.
like 4 a.m. is worse than 12. 4 a.m. is like,
Yeah.
it's hot.
Wait, it's 100
You can't-
times worse.
You can't stay up until 4 a.m. and you can't wake up at 4 a.m. Like, it's that one time that's literally just the dead of night that everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
Or unless
Yeah.
you're doing night shift or you're insane. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that sucks.
The only time I've ever stayed up until 4 a.m. was when Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I lost track of time because it's such a good fucking game.
Oh, well, that's different. But, yeah, that... You'd expect with a
It's really
franchise
disheartening
as big as this, like...
that they would cater
That they
to their
would-
entire audience.
Exactly, like the
They
whole
would,
world.
they would think it through
Apparently
at
not.
least a little bit.
Yeah, you
It's-
think. Because...
Yeah.
Oh,
It
well,
makes no sense.
that's really mean. That sucks.
If they moved it 4 hours earlier, the latest that it would be for any time zone with a significant population would be New Zealand at 1 a.m.
That's
Which
still
is still
not bad.
Doable.
Yeah.
It's still doable.
You can... I've stayed up until 1
Better
a.m.
than
so many
fucking
times.
4 a.m.
4 is the worst. Because, like,
Yeah.
around 1 a.m. is a
It-
time where I'm, like, kind of sleepy and I'd go to bed in the next 2 hours. But...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really mean.
4 a.m. is all-nighter territory.
Yeah. Which... Have I ever pulled an all-nighter? I don't think so.
I have. I said the only time... So, I lied, because the only time I've ever stayed up until 4 and then gone to sleep. But I have stayed up all night before, yeah.
I've maybe done it like once when I was doing like the dawn service that's at like 4, that I kind of got like maybe an hour and a half of like sleep, if you could really count it as sleep.
You had a nap.
I had a nap, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
full. I don't think I've ever done that before. Oh, maybe like once, but yeah. I just don't
It's
have...
not a pleasant thing to do.
No, I don't have the need for it. Like, it's not something that I do regularly because I can. It's just like, no, I'm not really... No, thanks. I'm not going to do that. That's...
It's like, at the time, it feels fine,
yeah, like,
usually.
one...
Then it hits you at about 6 p.m. the next day,
Yeah.
and you feel like you're phasing out of reality.
Yeah, I've definitely... Whenever I do the dawn service, it finishes at like 7. I get home, and then I go to sleep until like 11, and then I wake up then and I'm fine. Like, I don't do a full 24 hours of no sleep. No, I've never done that before.
There's a plane going over my house.
Oh, I heard that.
This is the blight of the Inner West podcaster.
I'm so glad I don't live on a flight path, because I could not, like... I couldn't do that.
Yeah, but you got road noise. I don't have road noise.
Do you hear any road noise? We got 2 windows. We got insulation. No, but it does get... There are some... I've talked about this before. There are some motorbikes that are so ridiculously loud. I swear it was like 2 a.m. one night. I was in bed and this one motorcycle drives past, wakes me up, and I bet everyone in the surrounding like 5 blocks also. It was literally... It was stupidly loud. How are they not deaf?
Motorcyclists are a blight on humanity.
How are they not deaf? That's what I'm more confused about. Because that
Yeah.
helmet will only protect you so much before it just penetrates, the vibrations penetrate through your skull. Genuinely. It's weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I
no.
mean, it's just self-inflicted disability.
Yeah.
It's like they'll pay for it eventually.
Mhm. Good for you. Not my problem. Sometimes it is, but...
Anyway, I hate to do two topics in a row, But this one, I feel like you're going to be really excited about as well.
Okay.
Because we got a trailer for a movie that I've been very excited for.
What is it?
A teaser trailer, not a full trailer.
What is it?
We got a teaser for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Oh my god, yes! Wait, where? Hold on. I haven't seen this. Wait a
Netflix
second.
had a big event today.
Oh, you kidding
Unfortunately,
me?
it's not going to be in cinemas. It's not going to be in cinemas. It's only going to be on Netflix, which it pisses me off.
Wait.
What?
What?
Same with Thursday Murder Club, which is a film adaptation of one of Richard Osman's novels.
Oh shit,
They're
now I'm
both
gonna
just
read
going to go straight
Frankenstein.
onto Netflix. They're not going to go into cinemas. They're just going straight onto Netflix, which pisses me off. But
oh my god.
both of those films that I mentioned, Frankenstein and Thursday Murder Club, they both look fucking fantastic,
Oh
and
my
I'm really excited
God.
for both of them.
Look at him. Look at Oscar Isaac.
But yeah,
I'm just looking at like
Frankenstein is
some of the
Oscar
thumbnails.
Isaac and Jacob Elordi.
Oh right,
Another classic novel.
he's in there.
Another classic
Yeah,
novel.
how is Jacob doing that? He's in Wuthering Heights and now also Frankenstein. What?
Frankenstein. Yeah.
How is he doing this? Jeez.
He must like his classic novels. I
guess. I have voiced my my displeasure on him playing.
Yeah. Disapproval.
Disapproval on him playing Heathcliff, but this one, Frankenstein's monster because he's yeah.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to this.
He's fucking tall.
That's the thing. That's the good thing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. You can do
Yeah.
so much with that,
It works.
and because
And Oscar Isaac
and Oscar Isaac
as Doctor, as Victor.
Oh,
He
I've got
looks
to watch
so
this. I gotta watch this because I have not seen this at all. I
Okay.
didn't even know this came out.
We're gonna do a live reaction.
Live reaction. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Cutting to after Cloud has watched the trailer. What'd you think?
Visually, I love okay. So he did Pan's Labyrinth. I haven't seen that, but I know that visually it's such a beautiful movie. This looks just the same. That one scene with the white coffin. I mean, I don't know. Like it looks really good.
I mean, it's that classic GDT sauce.
Yeah.
He has that shit
Yes,
on lock.
he does.
Dude, Guillermo del Toro,
He knows what he's doing.
fucking awesome.
Love
Yeah.
that, man. No, I'm really hyped for this. This looks really good. I'm gonna have to read the book beforehand because one thing I'm a sucker for is accuracy to the source material, and I hope this is one of those movies where at least there's because the thing is, if you're doing a book adaptation, I understand that you cannot put every bit of detail from the book into the movie. You can't make it like a direct translation over because there is too much. Like a book, if you do it line by line, that will be hours long. It is too much to make into a movie. So I get that you have to condense things. I believe
Not
there are
necessarily with Frankenstein, because Frankenstein is a pretty short novel. It's not very long.
Is it? Oh.
No, it's only about like 280 pages.
Oh, okay. Well then
It's not very long
that
at all.
shouldn't be too bad. But I was thinking, for example, with Wuthering Heights, that's a pretty it spans over a long time. And if you were to put absolutely everything in there, I think
It's
it would be
thick book.
it would take a while. So yeah, like I get that you can't put everything, but I hope that it'll still have like the essence of the story, because I know that there's been so many other Frankenstein movies, animations, cartoons, all these things that kind of go with the very basic, oh, this guy creates a monster from other people's parts and then revives it with lightning and that's it. And they don't really, again, I don't know actually what happens in the book. I haven't read it. I assume there's more than that, but I really hope that they go into those specific details that's been written about, because I know that all these other like other movies and stuff don't always do that, because they really simplify the story into, you know, the main plot. And the fact that most people also think that Frankenstein is the monster. No, he's the doctor, or the guy that makes Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, but he is the monster.
I guess. So
if you think about it, that is actually the entire point of the book.
There you go.
I read and studied Frankenstein
Oh,
in high
okay.
school, and that is the entire point of the book.
There
is
you
that
go.
He creates a monster, but he
He
is
becomes
monster
the monster.
because of
What he did.
he was always the monster because of his decision to create life without its consent.
Yeah. Isn't that like everyone?
Well, yeah, it is an allegory for childbirth. The whole thing, it's like, so the creature wants to be unmade. The creature
Yeah.
does not want to live. That is the whole thing, is that I don't like about basically every other Frankenstein adaptation.
Yeah.
Is that the monster is like,
It's like really dumb and it doesn't talk.
in the novel.
It's actually
In the novel, the monster is incredibly well spoken.
Yeah, exactly. Like it can actually speak full sentences. That's one point I've heard many people say, that all these other iterations of Frankenstein make the monster seem as if it's some dumb creature that doesn't have any conscious thought or, conscious literate, way of speaking, but that's not true.
It's because those adaptations don't want to actually tackle the themes of the novel.
Yeah. Which I'm
It's so much easier to just avoid them if you just make the creature a zombie.
begging and hoping that this is what we get this time in this movie, that we get an actual true representation of the story, which is what you'd expect in a book adaptation. That's like the whole point.
I have utmost faith. I have utmost faith in Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm very, very excited for
Looking
that
forward to
film.
this very much.
So on the topic of the other film that I mentioned, I did kind of swoop under the radar a little bit there, but Netflix is also doing. They also released a trailer for Thursday Murder Club, which is like I said, one of Richard Osman's novels. Really admire Richard Osman. I was a big fan of Pointless when I was a child. He was the sort of the co-host of Pointless, and he's written a ton of novels. He co-hosts another one of my favorite podcasts. Shout out, The Rest is Entertainment. It's a great show. And he's worked with, I think, Steven Spielberg to make a film adaptation of Thursday Murder Club, which has quite possibly the best concept for a novel that I've ever heard.
Please,
which is that
explain. I have not heard of this book at all. So,
a group of pensioners, retirees, who I'm not sure whether they are at a retirement home. I think they might live in a retirement village of sorts. They have a club each Thursday where they get together and piece together the clues from old cold cases to try and solve them.
Ooh, do they eventually solve one?
And eventually, a real murder happens in their town, and they get on the case and try to solve it.
That's
so
cool.
The whole cast is people over like 70 solving a murder.
Oh god.
It's such a great concept. I need to find the cast because it is a stellar cast.
David
It
Tennant
really is. They have
Ben
Celia
Kingsley?
Emery, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, Daniel Mays, Ben Kingsley, David Tennant, Tom Ellis, Naomi Ackie, Ingrid Oliver, Richard E. Grant, Jonathan Pryce, Sarah Niles.
This is
a star-studded British
amazing.
cast.
Oh my god.
Wonderful.
And this looks really
it is
good.
So great.
It's a mystery comedy. Fuck, I can see I can see that. This is great. I love this. Wow. I thought I thought it was going to be they solve one of the cold cases, but there being an actual murder, and the fact that they're all like retirees.
Yeah. It is such a fantastic concept. I have not actually read the book yet. I think there's a couple out.
Okay, yeah, I think there's like a series. Yeah, I'm seeing there's a few of them.
My parents definitely already own them, so I just need to go upstairs and grab one of them if I want to start reading.
Yeah,
which I probably will right after this because I want to read that first book
David
before the film comes out.
Tom
Yeah.
Ellis.
Also, on the topic of the cast, I mentioned Ingrid Oliver.
Yeah.
I've known Ingrid Oliver. I've known about Ingrid Oliver as an actress for a long time because she played Petronella Osgood on Doctor Who.
Okay.
Who you wouldn't have encountered yet in your Doctor Who watching
I
because she
Don't.
comes in
think
like the Matt Smith era.
Right. Okay.
She is Richard Osman's wife.
What?
And every time Richard mentions her on the rest of his entertainment, every time he's like, "Oh yeah, Ingrid and I were out doing this and this," I just have to remind myself mentally that yes, Richard Osman is married to Osgood from Doctor Who.
Right. Wait.
And it makes me laugh every time.
Rich. I gotta look. I can't spell. What is happening?
He was on. Oh yeah, I forgot. He was Richard Osman. He was on Taskmaster as well.
Do I know this?
Fantastic
Oh.
competitor on Taskmaster.
I think I might have seen him before. I'm not sure where. Right. Okay. Oh, that's funny.
He's mostly known for his height because he's 6'7".
Oh wow. There you go. Yeah. Huh. But so he wrote the book and now his wife's in it. I love that.
Yeah.
I
That
love it
I
when they
find
do
very
that.
funny,
When
yeah.
like you've got like a husband and wife in a project together, but they're not both acting. One's like producing or something, or one like wrote it, and then that's so sweet. Being like, oh, I wrote this, and now oh, I've got the perfect actor or actress that I want playing this part. It's just their wife. I love that.
I will also have to keep an eye out because I can almost guarantee that Richard's co-host on the rest of his entertainment, Marina Hyde, she will at least be an extra. I
Oh,
can
okay.
almost guarantee that she will have some tiny little cameo role in that because, I mean, you wouldn't pass up that opportunity,
Yeah.
would you?
And then we have Naomi Aki, which, of course,
She's great.
I love her so much. This is a really great cast. Yeah, like I feel like you can't go wrong. You put all these actors in a room, tell them to make something. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. And so is this also not coming out in cinemas or?
No, it's only on Netflix.
Oh,
I'm so sad.
well.
I mean, I really hope it at least gets a limited cinema run.
Yeah, like you'd
somewhere.
hope so.
Just so that somebody can watch it in a cinema, because
Yeah.
all films deserve to be seen on a big screen.
Yeah, I believe because watching it on a little TV for the first time is not the same as an actual cinema with like the.
Mm.
But I will say, after watching it on the big screen, there are some films that can be enjoyed more on, for example, the original. Some old movies. Watching it on an old CRT TV, for example, you get that kind of vibe and feel of it. That's. Again, one thing I enjoy with like old technology is it's not just the quality.
Back to the Future.
Quality might there you go.
Back to the Future on a CRT kind of
It hits really fucking
I won't
good.
lie.
That's what I'm talking about. There are some movies that watching it on what it would have been seen on in homes at the time of its release makes it hit even more. So I will always be a fan of films, watching them, even if it's not that good quality. It's just a feeling, man. It's like why you take, photos with film. It gives the photos some sort of like soul and life, and yeah.
Yeah. It's the tactility.
It is.
Yeah. On that note, that's just about all the time we have this week.
There it is.
We hope you enjoyed the podcast that we just recorded.
That we just spent half an hour of our Sunday afternoon on.
Sunday evening. Come on now. It's
What?
6:25
It's the same
on
thing.
the 1st of June.
Afternoon, evening, to me, they're the same thing.
Anyway, thanks to 2K Doppler, aka OK Kirk, for the use of our theme song Breeze off the Albert Brooks Brain Dump. You can find the link to that in the episode description.
Ooh.
And in, oh my goodness, only 1 week. This episode, if you're listening to it on the day that
it comes
is coming
out.
the 6th of June, tomorrow will be my birthday.
Ooh.
And only 1 week away, Friday the 13th of June. I know it's It's an unlucky day, but
Oh,
the teaser trailer for Brooklyn Broke the Universe will be out and the Kickstarter will be live.
oh my god. So excited. Also, pinch and a
1
punch.
week.
Pinch and a punch for the first day of the month.
Oh, you bastard. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for listening,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Shit. We can
Bye.
avoid incendiary incidents in real life, and we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?